for Justice. I'm also a guidance counselor at Yorktown High School. So I guess they wanted me to say some words about Juneteenth and about the history. So the Emancipation Proclamation was written in 1862. Okay, it was issued in 1863. The problem with that was the Confederacy did not recognize Abraham Lincoln as their president and did not recognize his bills as law. So they didn't follow it. And what ended up happening is as the war went on and the Union was capturing more southern states, slave owners would move further south with their enslaved until we get to Galveston, Texas, which is the most southern tip of Texas, the most southern state, and it's actually an island. And we find 250,000 enslaved in Galveston, Texas by 1865, okay? What a lot of people don't know is that General Lee didn't surrender until April of 65, and so the war was still going on. When he surrenders in April, the soldiers defending Texas don't surrender. They don't surrender until June 1st. And so on June 19th, the Union soldiers move into Galveston, Texas, 70% of which are black. A lot of people don't know that. And they liberate by force the 250,000 enslaved that were in Galveston at that time. Another misnomer that people don't realize is that the news made it to Galveston. The slave owners knew, the enslaved knew, everyone in town knew, but they were still forced to work. And it took the Union soldiers coming in and saying, "You're done," to free all of those enslaved. And so we recognize June 19th, or Juneteenth, as Freedom Day, as Liberation Day, and as the official Black independence. So I tell this story, I've told this story at the high school, I've told it different places, and it seems to me like every time I tell it, there are people that are hearing some portion of it for the first time. So I'm going to continue to tell it and continue to share the nuances as I learn them and as we all learn them. I'm really glad to see everybody here in support of the quilt, in support of the library, in support of YFJ. I really, really appreciate Rachel and Marissa because they are they are the brain trust of YFJ, and if people knew what they were doing behind the scenes on a daily basis to keep the work going, it would blow your minds. And I'll tell you, they're always working, they're always moving, the phone's always vibrating, and I have to put it down and say, I can't do this right now. So I just really appreciate their energy, and I hope that we can all support and participate in the raffle and help them get that 503c status that they really need and to help us continue going. One other thing I did want to share, and I was thinking about this just a second ago. When I look around at the room, right, I see people that I know, that know me, and I see people, of course, that I don't know yet. But when I see someone that I know, I think about their story. I think about the things I know about that person and the things that make that person special and those interactions that I've had with them. And that is community. That's what makes community special. When I moved here to give my son a privilege that I never had growing up. I never thought that I would find a community. I assumed that I would be on an island by myself just so I could give him a better opportunity. And And I meet people pretty often that move up here, and I see it in their eyes, and I know they feel the same way. And I just want to grab them and hold them and I want to give them the community I had in Harlem, and the love and the connectedness. And I hope that we can find that up here, and that we can drown out the voices of hate that we have up here. Because the voices of hate up here are very loud and obnoxious. And misery loves company, you know, and those that have the right thing in mind like to stay quiet and like to sit back. I know, because I was one of them, and we can't do that. We have to build our community, we have to be outspoken, and we have to drown out those voices of hate. Because what they do is they attack us as individuals. They attack us personally. They don't attack the message. You know why? Because they can't. They can't attack a message of love. All right? So I want you to keep that in mind when you hear those voices, when you hear the things that they say, and understand that they're attacking people personally rather than the message and the mission. Okay? So the mission here is to bring us together as one healthy, unified, loving community. Regardless of gender, regardless of race, religion, politics, sexual orientation, we all have a story, a beautiful story that we need to learn from one another. Okay? So thank you for coming today. Happy Juneteenth, and I hope to see you again.